Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back. Of course, we were talking about the true traits of a believer. 13 true traits. The first one, as I was talking about, it's about submitting to a complete peaceful lifestyle. So what does it really mean in practice? How do we do it? How can we achieve that very simple and yet most profound goal in life? Let's start by outlining certain activities and actions that you and I can take. The first one, let's see, if you are thinking like me, if you are with me in this journey, the first one and the foremost one, if you truly want to find peace, you need to find Allah. And this is a very simple equation. Let me give you an example. You know, brothers and sisters, when we're in our mother's womb, before we have even been completely formed, inside the mother's womb there is a state called the fetus, of course. And that fetus in its early days has no organs at all. It's like a leech with a head and a tail. On 16th week, a miracle happens. A black dot appears at the center of the fetus. And without any brain, without any other body organs, it suddenly starts pumping. And that's the heart. It is impossible, scientifically speaking, for the heart to exist without the brain, or function without the brain rather. So a heart cannot function, cannot start pumping blood without the command from the brain. And yet on the 16th week in the mother's womb, the heart starts beating, pumping. And this miracle is when Allah says He breathes into the fetus ruh, life. Life. And the beginning of life is a breath which is heavenly. Allah's light resides in all of our hearts, my brothers and sisters. If we cannot recognize that light of Allah, we can never find peace. If your heart is in constant turmoil, you will be in turmoil. If your heart is in constant state of rebellion, you will also find yourself in a constant state of rebellion. And rebelliousness and turmoil are not conducive to peace. So the first thing first, have you discovered Allah and reconnected with Allah from your heart? That's the first thing. Otherwise, you cannot find peace. Your heart needs that connection because your life began from that breath, that ruh that came from Allah. Reconnecting with Allah makes it possible for you and I to find peace. So that's number one, right? Number two, for you to find Allah, Allah says that in the Quran, أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنُّ الْقُلُوبِ. If you truly want to find contentment of your heart, then you must remember Allah often. Perpetual remembrance of Allah, unceasingly, constantly remembering Allah is the only way we can find peace. Those people who don't remember Allah, you can ask them. They resort to alternative ways of finding peace. Some take drugs, some become infused in alcohol, intoxicated, some become alcoholics in complete addiction, some become addicted to gambling, some take adrenaline junkie lifestyle, so they jump from the top of the mountains, they jump out of the planes just to feel the buzz. They're only trying to fill that vacuum that is inside them. And that vacuum is they're not remembering their root and their origin. So if you want to truly find peace, first thing first, recognize Allah's existence, connect with Allah in your heart, and the third, remember Him regularly, unceasingly. Number four, you must begin to behave in that heavenly way, that godly way, that divine inspiration, the breath, the ruh that has kept you alive, brought you to life. That means you must be peaceful with other people. So when people do things to you that are wrong, don't respond to them in the wrong way. If people say things that makes you angry, think twice before you respond to them in anger. If somebody rushes you to do something, think twice before you become haste in order to achieve something. A peaceful person is a calm person, is a composed person, is a measured person, and is a deeply spiritual person. So if you want to find peace with others, so this is the first part, is the peace inside, the internal peace. The second part of the first trait is establishing peace with others around you. Accepting your family for who they are. Your brothers, your sisters, you can't change them. Accepting your parents for who they are, you can't change them. Accepting your children for who they are, you can't change them. Accepting your spouse, your husband or your wife, for who they are, you can't change them either. Accepting the realities around you enables you and I to find peace with people around us. If we are constantly squabbling and arguing with the smallest and the most minutest of the issues, then we will never find peace. So accept them. They said something that's irritating you, well, think about something they have said that made you happy before. If they've done something that you don't like, think about something that they have done that you have liked. In fact, think about the fact that your words could have irritated them too. Your actions could have irritated them too. So if you truly want to establish peace with other people around you, the way to do it is to accept them first. Accept them for who they are. Don't try and change them. If they wish to change because they realize there is a need for change, then they will make that change from within. And such a change would be long-lasting and, of course, deeply impactful. But forced change creates resentment, and you don't want that. So accept people around you for who they are. Secondly, my dear brothers and sisters, there are no shortcuts in establishing peace in this world. There are no shortcuts to establishing peace with our families and our relatives. You have to give time. You have to invest time. You have to meet them regularly. You have to exchange goodness with them. You have to exchange gifts and words of kindness. You have to exchange mutual respect and love. You have to invest quality time. Otherwise, forget about it. People will not know you. People will think you are a very self-centered, selfish person. So if you want to truly establish peace with people around them, invest time with them. So I've said 2 practical suggestions so far when it comes to establishing peace with others. Firstly, accept them for who they are. Secondly, invest time with them. The third way of establishing peace with people around us is, my brothers and sisters, to give them excuses. Make excuses for your brothers and sisters. Overlook their mistakes. Overlook the things that they do. If you make mistakes, you would like others to overlook yours, don't you? If you do something wrong, you would like people to give you excuses. We all make excuses for ourselves, but it's very difficult to make excuses for others. My neighbor threw his rubbish in my garden. I'm going to become mad. Well, think about it. Maybe your neighbor didn't. Maybe the fox brought the rubbish from neighbor's garden and left it in your garden. My brother said something to me. He must have deliberately meant it. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he meant the good. But the words in the tone and in the manner in which he spoke came out wrong. Maybe he's unable to, or she's unable to articulate their feelings and express them well. So if you truly want to establish peace with others around you, then give them excuses. So brothers and sisters, in a nutshell, the first trait of a true believer is that believer, he or she submits to a peaceful lifestyle completely. They find peace inside and they connect with Allah to sustain that peaceful lifestyle. And they manifest that peaceful lifestyle in their behavior, in their kindness, in their compassion with everyone around. And they establish peace. Ufshu salama bainakum. It's the ultimate saying of the Prophet. Spread peace amongst yourself. Ufshu salama bainakum. I love this statement of the Prophet. Spread peace amongst yourselves. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope and I pray you're able to and I'm able to practice all that I have said and we've heard. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.